Hello, this is Rick Schultz from Virtual Dynamics. Welcome to the Audiophile. What we're going to do here is a very advanced version of the speaker tweak. Now, originally what we had done is we had taken out the original screws that hold the drivers in. This is on a Verity Sarastro loudspeaker, one of my favorite and most beautiful loudspeakers that I've had a chance to listen to. And we've replaced them with a brass screw. When we did that, we torqued them down to about 30 inch-pounds. We'd replaced the number 8 screw that was in here originally, the steel one, with the number 10, and really torqued it up to be able to try to tighten this driver into the cabinet to be able to get the resonances moving off the driver even faster. But what I've been hoping for on this particular set of speakers is to change the way that we couple this all together, because one of the problems that we have is that we're going into MDF. Now, MDF is a great material as far as being able to control vibrations with inside the cabinet. But one of the problems that it has is as you start to change your screws out a couple of times, or if you want to try to maintain the same amount of torque all the way through, is that MDF is a very paper-like substance, and it's hard to get a screw to really hold in there well. So the other problem is that we want the best quality brass screw that we can possibly use. Now, as most metric screws or mini metric screws that you find are actually made in Germany or England, and the quality of the manufacturing is usually very, very good. So what we're going to do in this is we're going to use the brass screws or take the brass screws that we've put in. We're going to extract those now. We're going to move it to the next level. Now, I can only advise that you try this if you're very good with working with wood, or if you feel really comfortable as a handyman doing something like this. If you look at this and go, I don't think I want to do that, please don't do it. It is possible to damage your speaker when you're doing something like this, or damage the cabinet in such a way that would be very difficult to fix. So if you feel confident that this is something you want to try, or maybe you want a woodworker to do it for you, take it over to a cabinet maker and they'd be happy to be able to just do this particular mod that I'm going to do. We're going to start right now by taking the original screws that hold the drivers in. We're going to zap those out and pull the driver. Now I've pulled out all the screws around and I've loosened off the one at the bottom. You want to keep one in because you don't want your driver to fall off and end up in your lap. You can chip the speaker and cause problems with the driver as well. So I've loosened this particular one off here, but you'll also notice that sometimes the drivers simply don't want to just pop straight out, especially when you've had them in as tight as this particular driver has been. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a threaded insert, I'm going to thread it right into where the screw hole was, and just pull slightly on the driver. Now I'm going to put my arm in front so that the driver can't fly out on me. And as I pull, I should be able to just loosen this driver right off. And there we go, that broke it free. Put your driver over to the side where there's no chance of it coming into any sort of harm while you're working on the rest of this mod. Next thing you're going to have to do is pull your seal out. Now this seal was originally factory glued into place, so when you pull it out, it's not going to want to sit in exactly the same spot with a great amount of ease. So you're going to need a light glue to reattach this. What we're doing is we're installing this unit here, the brass threaded insert. It's got a 5mm inside threaded portion here for a machine screw, and on the outside it's threaded with nice thick and heavy threads that will hold real well into the MDF. So the first thing you need to find is a drill bit that is the same size as the outer circumference of your threaded insert, so that the only thing that will be holding is just your threads itself. The next thing that we want to do, you can see that I've taped off my drill bit so that the threaded insert will go in just to where it's taped. That's where I'll actually stop my drill bit, is right where the end of the tape is here, so that this threaded insert will go in as far as needed, and you want it to go a little bit past the edge or the surface of where your driver is actually going to sit. You want this to be just a little bit inset from there. So I've taped my drill bit so that I can do that accurately. Now as you put your drill into this particular surface, this is at a bit of a slope or an angle. So you want to angle your drill approximately to the same angle that the surface of the speaker is going to be sitting on. And you want to make sure that you drill in real straight from side to side too. Because if you don't get this hole straight, when you go to put in your machine screws, they're not going to want to thread properly. So that's